Welcome to Global Buzz, where we discuss the latest global developments. Russian President Vladimir Putin has issued a decree that offers citizenship to foreigners who volunteer to fight in Russia's war in Ukraine. This is a controversial and unprecedented move that has raised many questions and concerns. In this video, we will try to answer some of these questions and explain the background, the motives, and the implications of Putin's decree. First, let's look at the background of the conflict. Russia and Ukraine have been at war since 2022, when Russia annexed Crimea, a peninsula in the Black Sea that belonged to Ukraine, and supported separatist rebels in the eastern regions of Donetsk and Luhansk regions, Kherson and Zaporizhia. The war has claimed over 200,000 lives, mostly Ukrainian soldiers and civilians, and displaced millions of people. The international community has condemned Russia's aggression and imposed sanctions on Moscow, but Putin has shown no signs of backing down. Despite several ceasefire agreements, the fighting has continued, with frequent violations and casualties on both sides. Despite the international community's continued condemnation of Russia's aggression and imposing more sanctions on Moscow, it has failed to stop the war or restore Ukraine's territorial integrity. And Putin has shown no signs of backing down. In fact, he has recently signed a decree that makes it easier for foreigners to obtain Russian citizenship if they enlist in the Russian armed forces and participate in the war in Ukraine. According to the decree, foreigners who sign contracts for at least 1 year and spend at least 6 months in combat zones where they are seriously wounded will be eligible to apply for Russian citizenship in a simplified and expedited way. Their spouses, children, and parents will also be able to get Russian passports. Moreover, if they die while serving in the Russian army, their close relatives can also apply for Russian citizenship through a simplified procedure. This decree has raised many questions and concerns, both inside and outside Russia. Why is Putin offering citizenship to foreigners who fight for him? What are the implications of this move for the war in Ukraine and the region? And who are these foreigners who are willing to risk their lives for a country that is not their own? One possible answer to the first question is that Putin is facing a shortage of manpower in his military. As the war in Ukraine drags on, Russia has suffered heavy casualties and low morale among its troops. Many Russians are reluctant to fight in a war that they do not support or understand. Putin has tried to boost his army's numbers by removing the upper age limit for contractual service, increasing the size of the armed forces, and announcing partial mobilization. But these measures have not been enough to fill the ranks of the Russian army, which is stretched thin by the war in Ukraine and other conflicts in Syria, Libya, and elsewhere. Another possible answer is that Putin is trying to create a loyal base of supporters who will defend his interests and ideology. By granting citizenship to foreigners who fight for him, Putin is rewarding them for their loyalty and creating a sense of belonging and identity. He is also sending a message to the world that he has allies who share his vision of a strong and assertive Russia that challenges the West and its values. Putin may also hope that these new citizens will vote for him and his party in future elections, ensuring his grip on power. The implications of Putin's decree for the war in Ukraine and the region are also significant. On the one hand, the decree may escalate the conflict and increase the violence as more foreign fighters join the Russian army and engage in combat with the Ukrainian forces. The decree may also undermine the peace efforts and negotiations that have been ongoing between the two countries and their international partners, such as the Normandy Format and the Minsk agreements. On the other hand, the decree may also expose the weakness and desperation of Putin, who is resorting to such a drastic measure to sustain his war effort. The decree may also backfire on Putin, as it may alienate some of his domestic and foreign supporters, who may see it as a sign of betrayal or opportunism. The decree may also provoke a backlash from the countries that are affected by the influx of foreign fighters, such as the Central Asian states, where many of them come from. Finally, who are these foreigners who are willing to fight for Putin and Russia? According to some reports, they are mostly young men from poor and unstable countries who are lured by the promise of money, adventure, and a better life. Some of them may also have ethnic, religious, or ideological ties to Russia, such as the Chechens, the Serbs, or the neo-Nazis. Some of them may also have personal or professional reasons to join the Russian army, such as former soldiers, mercenaries, or criminals. However, the exact number and profile of these foreign fighters are hard to determine, as they are often disguised as volunteers, contractors, or humanitarian workers.
For more news like this across the globe, please subscribe to our channel, like and share this video. Thank you.